Outside of sports fans, I can't think of any medium that brings out passion in such a pure way than gaming. We love getting stuck into year-long hype cycles, picking apart footage and dissecting trailers, hoping every single game will be the next Final Fantasy VII, GTA 3, Skyrim, or whatever else you can think of. To that end, many games are doomed from the start. Malign creations that misjudge their fanbase or the wants and needs of the public, releasing to a fanfare akin to pathetically blowing their own party horn with no guests in sight. These are those games. The only problem is, like every good underdog, there's so much more to offer if you'd only give them a chance. I'm Scott from WhatCulture.com, and these are 8 video games everyone loves to hate that totally don't deserve it. Number 8, Halo 4. What Bungie did with Halo shaped the face of gaming, changing the very paradigm of how we think first-person shooters should look, feel, and control. To step into the ring after that, 343 didn't stand a chance. Still, innovation was present. 343 injected Halo with a way more heartfelt story centered on the Chief and Cortana's relationship. Altered controls royally peed off the fans, but could be changed back, and a new enemy faction named the Prometheans brought with them a host of new morphing weapons to play with. Halo 4 is more than playable, and its sound design is exquisite. The negativity is more a product of bad timing than anything else. Number 7, Watch Dogs and Watch Dogs 2. Had Ubisoft not demoed the first game running in a state that consoles could never match, this franchise's reception would have been completely different. Granted, both titles' open-world structures aren't going to win any awards, but there's a lot to like. Shooting and cover mechanics are tight and responsive, and there's a solid arcadey feel to driving. Hacking abilities mean that you can scout areas ahead and mess with guards by hopping between various cameras and distractions. Watch Dogs 2 even added the ability to control drones or vehicles remotely, meaning that you could complete missions without ever setting foot in an enemy stronghold. It's just plain cool for like the 3 of us that played it. Number 6, Batman Arkham Origins. Origins suffered immensely from franchise fatigue, to the point where we talk about the series as a trilogy, and even Rocksteady didn't acknowledge its existence in the Arkham Knight credits wrap. However, this is a game that delves into the Batman-Joker dynamic with actual depth. If Rocksteady's treatment of the character is a pounding heavy metal song, Warner Bros. Montreal's is an elegant instrumental. Case in point, the level where you play as Joker himself, delving into his mind as writers Corey May, Duma Wenscher, and Ryan Gillette flesh out a relationship to Batman that would go on to define them both forever. We also see Bruce Wayne becoming Batman, which if you've ever read something like Year One, or maybe you like the dynamism and reality of the Dark Knight trilogy, is a very interesting way to spin a tale about the Bat in Game 4. Number 5, Max Payne 3. The Max Payne games were so damn good, this was one of those times where more of the same would have been ideal. As a result, I too was repelled by the look of bald Max in a Hawaiian shirt blasting gangsters across the favelas. Visit Max Payne 3 objectively though, and you'll discover a game about pushing the character to the absolute limit. The reason he shaves his hair comes from a poignant part in the story, and it's this shift in the character that really makes you root for him in a way that Remedy never even came close to. Plus, Rockstar's endless budget means that this has the best third-person shooting physics system in anything ever. Simple as. Number 4, Splinter Cell Conviction. So, a homeless version of Sam Fisher flipping tables and sending guards ragdolling around the room was about as far away from Splinter Cell as Metal Gear Solid. Fans and general opinion never recovered despite Ubisoft canning this idea, but Conviction's tale of Sam hunting for the person who killed his daughter is a great one. Combat was minimized to mostly interrogation segments, while stealth gameplay did lose the iconic goggles until more than halfway through the campaign, but Sam gained an ace multi-tag mark and execute feature that lets you run through the levels faster than ever. Conviction was an attempt to make Splinter Cell more than just stealth mechanics. It may have stumbled, but the final product can more than stand on its own 2 feet. Number 3, Resident Evil 5. Resi 5 suffered image problems. Chris Redfield's overinflated arms and stupidly macho appearance, plus the white savior ideology, framed the story in a negative light, and that was all before people got very annoyed about how much of an action focus it was going to have overall. In truth, Resident Evil 5 was a very accomplished shooter, one with meaty controls, a perfect variety of weapons, tactile aiming, and a schlock horror story propelling everything along. It may eventually give way to the abomination that is Resident Evil 6, but Resi 5 is still a perfectly serviceable and enjoyable blockbuster. Number 2, Assassin's Creed Syndicate. Coming after the complete disaster that was Assassin's Creed Unity, the world just fundamentally didn't want more Assassin's Creed. We needed the franchise to rest, and we voted this through with our wallets. Syndicate, though, did learn from many of the series' past mistakes. It reintroduced the present-day element, spruced up the stealth mechanics with threat rings and stealth stance toggles to evade enemies. Even dual male/female protagonists Jacob and Evie Fry were a response to the lack of a playable female in Unity. As a result, Syndicate is one of the best-playing Assassin's Creeds of them all, but ironically, it's also forever stuck in the shadows. Number 1, all the Call of Duty games after Modern Warfare 2. Annual installments of Call of Duty have turned it into a mainstay annoyance on our collective shelves. But when you look at how immaculately well made and well playing each one is, the whole franchise is pretty incredible. You really can't fault Activision for giving it their all either. Gameplay is perfected thanks to copious playtesting, and graphics are outstanding. Weapons kick with the requisite force necessary to sit back and just let the whole game consume you, and each campaign, minus Black Ops 4's because it doesn't exist, is just as fun and enjoyable as any Hollywood action flick. It's very easy to hate on Call of Duty because of the screaming teenagers and one-note appeal, but when you look at just how well put together these games are, it's one of the most recommendable franchises overall of them all. And that's my list. Let me know down in the comments if there are any other games that everyone apart from you just loves to hate. I've been Scott from WhatCulture.com, and I'll catch you soon.